sold him into slavery to the Ishmaelites, and the Ishmaelites sold him to Egypt, and Potiphar picked him up, and Potiphar, Joseph stayed faithful. He stayed committed to God, even in the times of trouble, so Potiphar, God allowed Joseph found favor in Potiphar's eyes. Potiphar made him great in his household. He made him ruler, top dog. Only one was over Joseph and Potiphar's house was Potiphar himself. And so Potiphar had a beautiful wife, and she desired him. She wanted him. The wife comes to him in Genesis 39, 7-13, and says, Joseph, lie with me. And Joseph said, well, Potiphar gave me control of everything in his house. He held nothing back from me but you. So why would I sin and do this great wickedness against God? He knew that even though Potiphar was not around, that when no one was around, he knew that God was still around. So even though no one is around seeing me, I will still stay committed to my word of God. I will stay committed to God even though no one is watching me. That's the problem. No one's watching us, so we feel as though that we get away with things. But God's everywhere. He's everywhere. He knows everything. He's in the cracks and the peepholes. He's everywhere. Nothing is hidden from his sight. He sees in the dark as if it was the light. He sees the swirl of the incense crawling on the ground, and Joseph knew this. And days over, days out, she kept tempting him. Joseph, sleep with me. Lie with me. Satan knew for certainty that he could not tempt Joseph in the areas of the materials of Potiphar's house. He knew that he couldn't tempt him in that area. So he used a woman. Now understand this. How was he able to tempt Joseph? He never showed no signs of sexual desires. But understand something. Joseph wanted to be loved. He wanted to feel comfort. His family abandoned him. He couldn't go back home. All of these things he faced. So Satan knew that Joseph wanted comfort. Joseph wanted love. So he was able to tempt him through his weakness. He knew that Abraham desired a son, and he tempted him through his wife Sarah to sleep with Hagar. He knew the weaknesses, and he said, I'm going to plot on that. So if you have a weakness and you desire more money, Satan would approach you with schemes. If you desire a wife, he will approach you with women who are beautiful. If you want a husband, he will approach you with men who seem to be right. If you want a new house, he will approach you with things. If you want a new job, you want a better job, he will approach you with jobs that seem to be good, but on the inside, they are rotten. They are not right for you. For if you ask God for something, and so ironically it comes so fast, examine it. Yes, God does answer in a timely fashion. Yes, God does come swiftly. Yes, I have seen in my life come fast. But if it seems not to be what the word says, then don't take it. So what happens? Satan tempted him to Potiphar's wife, man. And one day that they're in the house, Potiphar said, no one is around except for Joseph and her. And she pulls him alongside and said, Joseph, lie with me. Not with me. Oh, I love you. I want you to just lay down with me. We don't gotta have sex. Just lay down with me. And it says that Joseph ripped out of her arms and he left his garment behind. And understand the garment left behind means. It means that Joseph has now defeated and accomplished and passed his test. For the garment was the son being ripped off. Yes, Joseph did get locked up for 15 years. That thus lead him to being second in command of Egypt. And the only thing that was greater than him was Pharaoh and that throne that Pharaoh sat on. Similar to when he was in Potiphar's house. Everything was his. So was it in Egypt. He passed his temptation. He stayed committed. Because he says, even when no one is around, even when I have all these things under my possession and under my power, I will remain committed to God, for I know that my commitment will bring me temptation, but God is with me. 1 Corinthians chapter 4. Let's turn that real fast. Chapter 4, verse 9 to 13 says this. So 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9 to 13 says this. For I think that God has displayed us, the apostles last, as many condemned to death, for we have been made a spectacle to the world, both to the angels and to men. We are fools for Christ's sake, but you are wise in Christ. We are weak, but you are strong. You are distinguished, but we are dishonored. To the present hour, we both hunger and thirst, and we are poorly clothed and beaten and homeless. And we labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless, being prosecuted, we endure, being defamed, we entreat. We have been made as the filth of the world and the offscoring of all things until now. Paul says that the apostles of God are suffering, but we are remaining committed. When we are being prosecuted, we endure. When we are being rising against, we bless those, and we have worked with our hands endlessly. We have been hungry, we have been thirsty, we have been poorly clothed for the weather. We have been beaten and without a home, but we have stayed committed unto God. Paul knew that me being committed to God, that the world would dishonor me. But Paul said to the Corinthian church that my commitment to God has protected you from such things. My commitment to God has protected you. That when I was dishonored, you were distinguished. That when you had peace, I was in turmoil. Paul knew this. He told the church Corinthians, he tells them clearly that we apostles, James, Timothy, Titus, we all have stayed faithful and committed to the will of God, even when being tempted, because we knew that commitment brings temptation. I stayed on course. Even when faced with death, I stayed committed to God. Even all these things happen unto me, I stay faithful and committed to God, for his will is greater than my will. And if he can allow me to enter into this world and to save me, then when I die, he can resurrect me. If he created the heavens and the earth, he can bring me out of this. And I stay committed in my temptations for your sake. Because I knew that commitment brings me temptations. I can't stand her no more. I can't stand him. I can't stand my children. A mother is committed to our child. A father is committed to his child. Husband and wife committed to each other. A pastor is committed to his church. A usher is committed to the position. A singer is committed to the choir. A musician is committed to the church. A co-worker, a CEO is committed to his employees. Commitment brings, when a mother has a child, she is committed. And it brings her temptations of rebellion. See, consider the possibilities that when I have this child, I will go through times of tears. I will go through times of worry. I will go through times of scares. I will go through worries of them trying to live life. But I got to consider it a test. Consider the possibilities when you're faced with marriage. If I want to marry this man or woman, I got to know that sometimes they're going to get on my nerves. That sometimes they're going to make me sick. But sometimes all these things may happen. She may gain weight, or he may go bald, or these things may happen. I got to consider these possibilities, because when I am committed to something, temptations will arise. If I'm a pastor of a church and I minister over a flock of people, I have to consider the possibilities that some may not agree.